Good morning, Mr. CEO. Thanks for attending our presentations on the new Smart Shopping Trolley solution. This is Daniel Tay, the Information System Manager. Before we start, let's have a quick review on the content of the presentation today. First, we'll talk about the background of the Smart Shopping Trolley system. Second, the resources needed such as hardware, software, and infrastructure. Third, we'll talk about the implementations from the view of topologies in this new solution. Fourth, we will discuss on the effect of the new solutions in respect to the human resource, sales and marketing, finance, and productions. Fifth, we'll talk about the costs and benefits derived from this new Smart Shopping Trolley project. Six, the sensitivity analysis on these new projects, whereby we will talk about the factors of the CAPEX. Lastly, on the conclusions with some recommendations from our research in this application. Let's talk about the current technology of Smart Shopping Trolley. The first Smart Shopping Trolley was developed in 2004, and during that time, they have already the combination of technologies such as RFID, RTLS, and Fidelity cards. And as you can see on these slides, the graphic user interface of the tablet can be quite user-friendly. In 2007, MediaCard designed its trolley to be fitted with a GPS navigation system, which will alert the shoppers whenever they pass by a certain row of products with a specific advertisement on that product. In 2011, Tesco UK implemented the satellite navigation software for Android mobile phone, allowing users to enter their shopping list, and once they step through the automatic door threshold, the phone will direct them to the exact location of each item. In the same year, SK Telecom from Korea also implemented the Smart Shopping Cart, but this time is with the integration of the smartphone to the onboard table PC, which will provide a shopping information and location details of the product and the cart. Now, after listening to all the current trend of the Smart Shopping Trolley, if we look at the utilizations, it's quite indeed difference from the good development that we have heard. As you know, razor thin margin of grocery industry prevent the technology such as RFID to be implemented in a mass scale. Secondly, the cost versus benefits of having a low-cost passive RFID sensors with short detection range compare with the high cost of the active sensors with a longer range. Third, active systems increase the tech cost, and at the same time the form factor also will be bigger, and again it poses as obstacles to these implementations to the grocery industry. On the associated risk, there will be a potential tampering whenever you put a common tablet PC on the trolley, and this can be hazardous, especially on the payment details. Of course, there will be also the abuse on the tablet PC or the command mobile device on the trolley, and this will increase the maintenance cost of the supermarket. If you take a view into our competitors such as Walmart and Tesco, they are very focused into providing quick, convenient, and creative shopping experience to maintain their loyalty, and this should be the factors that we need to focus in the coming years. Now, looking at our new proposed Smart Shopping Trolley, our concept utilizes the technology of Wi-Fi, barcodes, or QR codes, through the hardware such as smartphones, Wi-Fi access points, and servers. As one of our competitor major have implemented in 2010. Wi-Fi access points or hotspot are mounted direct to the product shelf, and this set up for the optimal in-store mapping. The key success of our new system lies in the software implementation, such as these new smartphones, back of Happy Shop apps that will serve as the item locator and promo advert, item totalizer for price and quantity, and as the e-wallet for the payment through these apps alone. And you can see some of the example of the apps on the right hand side, on the navigations and on the advertisement for the promotions. Further to our concept, when a consumer enters the supermarket, they will pick up the trolley, and there will be an onboard adapter that also functions as a charger, as you see in the slides, to connect to their smartphone. Consumer will need to activate the back of Happy apps in their smartphone. This app will show the positioning grids, and if consumer has prepared a shopping list earlier, these apps will start to navigate with the nearest item on the consumer's location. Every product that consumer pick will need to be scanned using the smartphone on the barcodes or the QR codes, and this will be downloaded into the app's shopping list for payment purpose. Further on, once consumer make the payment through back of Happy Shop apps, this app will update to the back of inventory management system, which can be also to our existing inventory management system. And the inventory management system will update to the supplier's interface on the quantity to be replenished to achieve the just-in-time concept, which will reduce our holding costs. Now, in terms of the implementations, as you can see from this topology, we are talking about using on the Wi-Fi technology, which will be the reference point to each of the product shelf. Example, if the smartphone's product or the shopping list is stating on the fresh fruits, the smartphone's navigation will bring to the product shelf of the fresh fruit based on the Wi-Fi access point, which is mounted to the fresh fruit shelf. And after all the products has been selected and has been paid through the apps, on the exit point itself, there will be a payment tracker whereby you will need to scan your smartphone onto this tracker to verify the payment. When you look at the middle part on the cloud icon, we are proposing a local server and it's not a cloud on the external party or third party, whereby we believe in developing our own content and the P&C informations that we need. This server will be functioning as a shopping app server at the same time as an inventory management software. Let's move on to the effect of this new solution. From HR point of view, there will be definitely reduction of the manpower. We do not need so many cashiers, we do not need so many of the store assistants that looking around for the consumers in terms of when they are asked on the product locations. At the same time, from the existing staff, we can select the right staff to upgrade their knowledge. Move on to the sales and marketing. Our marketing effort will be through the shopping apps, and at the same time we can implement easier purchasing whereby you can use the apps to do the payment. At the same time, the increase of the promotion in terms of the awareness for our stores will be increased through the apps. Moving on to the finance, there will be an increase of revenues when you look into the sales and marketing's details as I shared earlier. Of course, if you compare implementing RFIDs with Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi will have a lower capex whereby you do not need to have each of the items tagged with the RFIDs. On the finance point of view also, you will need to allocate some maintenance to maintain the system, which is a very important to move on to the next future. Lastly, on the productions, just-in-time concept will be achieved, which will be able to reduce our holding costs from the stock point of view. Better integration with suppliers, and at the same time we are able to forecast the demand on the customers based on the shopping apps that we implemented. On these costs and benefits from the new solutions, on the cost itself, we are requesting for a capex of 1.5 million ringgit, and this, based on our calculations, we can achieve the break-even before even the second year. For more details on the financial model, please refer to the spreadsheet that I submit in my handouts. Move on. The first store shall be the master server for the rest of the 9 stores. Thus, the cost itself will be reduced tremendously. On the benefits, these systems are able to expand with the consumer's smartphone. Because we are using software as a key element, software-based system can always have a reduction of the cost compared to have hardware-based system. The back-off Happy Shop apps will be able to analyze shopping behavior to generate more buying from the consumer in the future. Moving on to the sensitivity analysis, we are focusing on the key factor of capex. Let's look at the first scenario, whereby if we were to implement with RFID, we forecast the cost of the capex will increase 50%. Of course, we know RFID technologies can prevent the theft, as internal theft contribute to the highest of 44% based on the statistic in terms of the losses made by the supermarket. Higher costs due to the item level tagging. As you can see, low-cost passive RFID sensors has limited detection range compared with the active RFID sensors with better range. But the active RFID sensor will have a higher maintenance cost, such as battery, and again, the cost itself will be shoot up to 50%, and to recoup it, we might have to wait longer. And again, it haven't if not calculate in terms of the maintenance for this kind of RFID technology. Moving on to the second scenario, if we were to talk about the proposal that we are sharing today, the key factor will be for the consumer to use the shopping apps. So what is the motivations? From our proposal, we would like to use or implement the reward points and discount for all the consumers that use these back-off Happy Shop apps. As you know, Malaysia's smartphone penetration is at 63% in 2013, and this is always increasing, and that's the reason why our proposal is very viable in this Malaysia context. Third, partnership with low-cost smartphones such as Xiaomi to promote the use of smart shopping trolleys apps with the discounted smartphone units can further motivate and encourage the usage of this technology. Third scenario, what if we have a 50% lower of the capex, whereby there is no shopping apps but we only focus in implementing the navigations for the customer. Navigating consumer to the product only solve part of the headache. Long line queue for payment is the major annoyance to the consumer according to the statistics in 2014. And again, if we only focus in the navigations, there will be an obstacle whenever we come to expansions because we do not invest in the software at the early stage. In our conclusion, we can say that mobile applications such as grocery shopping apps is the future for us. Why is this so? This is because this helps us to be visible to consumer all the time. It serves as our direct marketing channel to the consumer. Again, when consumer have it in their mobile phone through the apps, it provide a value to the consumer in the sense that we are with them all the time. And the mobile application apps can help us to build our branding and as a recognition among our customers. It also will improve the consumer engagement with us in terms of the surveys, in terms of interactions that we can implement through these shopping apps. And so we can stand out from our competition with these new solutions whereby most of the competitors, they might or might not have this thing in their mind if we are talking from the Malaysia context. Lastly, this will be able to cultivate a customer loyalty, just like what you see from the point of view of smartphones, where you have people which is loyal to Apple and you have customers which is loyal to Samsung. Again, we need to tap in this kind of behavior. As part of our recommendations in Malaysia, whereby majority of the population is located in suburban or villages, and they require motivations to use a smart shopping trolley solutions. Thus, the partnership with low-cost maker of smartphone such as Xiaomi is very crucial. Mr. CEO, I would like to really give my 100% commitment to this project. I know that 50 minutes is not enough for me to share more, and I'm ready to answer any of your doubts. Please contact me if you have anything that you need me to clarify. And once again, thanks for the time allocated for my presentation. Thank you very much.